inviting us to come speak with you, and surprised but honored to be around the population of people that's in here, because we're technically, from the way it seems, the only group that is not yet affiliated with the University of Iowa. So to be included in this with all of you that are part of the University of Iowa is truly an honor, and so appreciate it very much. I want to introduce to you, we have an intern at Sport Ability of Iowa currently. This is Brina Copes, and she's a student from Washington University in St. Louis, and will graduate with her doctorate in occupational therapy in December. She's going to share some information with you in just a moment, so that's why I asked her to come up, plus it's good training for her internship. So anyway, I didn't know to bring a nice PowerPoint, so this will have to do. But Sport Ability of Iowa is a nonprofit organization that was just a year old in September. Granted its nonprofit status in September, and we are passionate about providing sport and recreation opportunities to people with physical disabilities and visual impairments, and reducing the barriers to that participation. So we are looking to offer programs in a variety of things for a variety of people, and we work together with facilities and organizations throughout the Eastern Iowa corridor to provide the programs. We don't like have a facility, we have an office, and then work with other people to provide the programs. We have the equipment, so we can offer the programs in a variety of places, and we work with schools, park and recreation places, long-term care facilities, physical therapists, occupational therapists. We're working with a variety of places, people, organizations. One of the things that I guess, and I think that's probably why, one of the reasons we were invited is because we've talked a lot about accessibility, and we've talked a lot about modifications to help people with disabilities participate in society. And we're unique, at least among the people that are here, in that part of your participation in society is to be able to be active, physically active. And if you were born with the disability, maybe you're kind of used to how you can be active because you grew up that way. But people that acquire a disability, and I'm temporarily able-bodied, and I'm now not able to do that, do I stop? Do I become depressed? Do I commit suicide? What happens? Because now all of a sudden that's been taken away from me. And we want to make sure that we provide those opportunities so that we can educate as well as kind of pass the word and get people that would like to continue to do that, or would like to get started in that, even though they may have been disabled their whole lives, to participate in those programs with other people with disabilities, but also without the people without disabilities. And that's one of the unique things about how we feel about our program, is that if I have a buddy or a friend or a family member and I want to go play wheelchair basketball or whatever with that person, I shouldn't have to go find an organization or a place where it only includes people with disabilities like I have. I want to participate with my best friend or my spouse or my family member. And if that means that he or she sits in a wheelchair with me while I play wheelchair basketball, so be it. It's about time that they're on my turf instead of me always having to be on theirs. So one of the things I've asked about for Brina to do is she did a dissertation, her dissertation on people with disability, certain disability, and the benefits of participation in sport and exercise. So she's going to share her findings with you. So,
very briefly,
introduce her.
So my doctorate work was on the meaningful components of exercise and active recreation for those with spinal cord injury. I was particularly focused on those who had acquired a spinal cord injury, purely because it is very common. 18 to 30-year-old males, very active time in their life, and suddenly their activity is taken away from them, and they're very commonly becoming depressed, becoming overweight, and developing secondary conditions that are completely preventable. So I did majority men. There were a few women there. And I found that what Sportability offers is a lot of what they said. It's the socialization, which is a huge component, making friends, not only with people who have a similar injury to you, but also with people who are just in the community, because now they're getting out more. Now they're going back to school because they're physically fit. Now they're going back to work because they're physically fit. And also just, again, the endurance, all the physical and mental benefits that go along with sports are so important for everyone, but also, you know, specifically for those with disabilities, because those opportunities are not as widely available for people with disabilities as they are for everyone who is the other typical population. So in closing, I wanted to, this is such a powerful quote. It came from one of my focus groups, and I love to share it with anyone that I talk to about my research with. So this was a gentleman who had become a quadriplegic at age 22. And he really summed it up very easily. In one instant, I hit a tree and lost all my freedom, my health, my body, my dignity. And the sports and the fitness and the recreation allows you to get all those 4 things back. And so that's how he felt, as well as I think everyone else in my focus group felt. And we really have an opportunity here to help a large majority of the disability community feel that way as well.
Excellent, thank you. I want to, just in closing, I want to say that we have also been extended the honor of being named the first and only Paralympic sport club in the state of Iowa, which allows us to work with the U.S. Paralympics in offering programs and offering more educational type of things. The first thing that we will be offering next year as part of our Paralympic Sport Club status is a Paralympic experience, so that we will invite the disabled community as well as the general community to find out what it's like to participate and try a number of Paralympic sports. And hopefully we can get some Paralympians there as well. We had it scheduled for last weekend, but all the Paralympians are gone. They went there in Mexico for the Pan American Games, so it's kind of like, oh darn. So we can't have them here. Yes?
What's the difference between you and Special Olympics?
Good, very good question. Special Olympics focuses on persons with intellectual, cognitive, developmental disability.
Not all.
That's basically their requirement. They can have multiple disabilities where they have a developmental disability plus a physical disability, but the basic requirement of the basic people that they serve, the population that they basically serve, are people with cognitive disabilities. We're kind of like their sibling or their sister in that the people that participate with us have physical disability but not the cognitive disability. So there's a difference in the population that we serve. And from our experience of the children, especially that have come to participate in our programs, that have up until now only been able to participate in Special Olympics, they were frustrated because they weren't in a program that was designed for them. So now that we are here, we can give them more of a program that's designed for them. And I'm really glad you asked that question because it's a frequent one, and I apologize for not explaining it further, but that's a great question. Yes?
What facilities locally and state-wise your participants, where do they
participate? We have at our office in Solon, and we offer programs throughout the Eastern Iowa corridor. So we go from Iowa City up through Cedar Rapids up to Waterloo, and most recently we've been invited to Dubuque to start offering some programs there. So we go and take the programs to the places.
Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is, do they use, say, university rec centers here in Iowa City? Do participants use facilities that already exist here?
Yes.
And do they use it for a fee?
No. Right now, our programs are free. And if there is a fee, like if we were to participate here at the university, we may have to rent the gym or something. We may institute a small fee for participation if we have to, otherwise it will come out of our pocket at this point. Which I'm glad you asked, because the last thing I wanted to mention is that one of my desires at this point, I'm also a student here at the university, I'll be for a long time. I've been working on my PhD in higher education for a while, but supportability kind of brought it to a grinding halt because now I've got another thing to focus on. But as a student here, it's obvious to me that there's nothing here, that, to my knowledge, except for adaptive rowing, for people, for students with disabilities to participate in. The intramural programs, even the physical activities, health and physical activity skills department, where you can get 1 credit for, enrolling in a badminton class or whatever, where I actually am a teaching assistant. There's nothing there for people with disabilities. Granted, they may be able to participate in some of them, but specifically, there's nothing there, and that's something I would like to change. And I've already spoken to a few people about it and would like to get that started here on campus. If we're making things accessible, let's make our programs accessible for people with disabilities to have physical activity. So it's not just for the able-bodied people. So if you would like more information, we're going to leave some brochures on the table on the back as you leave. And we have a monthly e-newsletter that you can also put your information in for if you'd like to get that information. There will be a sign-up sheet at the back for you to provide that as well. Okay, are there any more questions? All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sherri and Rihanna. Because we are running a little bit behind schedule, I know that we have 2 awards that we do need to recognize and present. And I know that President Mason is on a tight schedule. We are going to kind of rearrange things on the schedule, and we're going to go ahead and do the Above and Beyond Award. And then after the Braverman Award, we will do the Disability Studies Certificate, and then announce the Council on Disability Awareness Writing Contest winners. So, President Mason.
Thank you. What a pleasure it is for me to be here this afternoon, and what interesting presentations. So far, so good. I always enjoy this opportunity to present the Braverman Scholarship Award. We have 2 things to do this afternoon. So before we get to that, let me say a few words about something else that we're going to do this afternoon. Our students, as well as faculty and staff with disabilities, come to their success from unique backgrounds. You've heard a little bit about that this afternoon, and you'll likely hear more about that before the day is over. Their educational lives have sometimes required different approaches. Their life experiences and situations have made them face different challenges. And no doubt these different experiences and approaches and challenges have often provided them with a very unique view on the world that informs the excellence of their scholarship, their professional work, and their service to society. In the university in general, and at the University of Iowa in particular, diversity of ideas is the essence of teaching and scholarship. And that's one of the main reasons why we so highly value a diverse and inclusive campus. Reaching out to diverse populations is important to our mission of providing an accessible education to all who are qualified and eager to learn. But we also reach out to diverse populations because doing so helps all of us learn. In a globalized world of increasingly complex ideas and perspectives, learning with and about people of many backgrounds and abilities improves everyone's present and future. So a truly diverse environment enriches life and learning for everyone. Now, students, faculty, and staff who are differently abled are critical to the university and the diversity that makes this a successful university. They bring to our entire student body perspectives that are valuable to critical thinking. They inspire the entire university community to face all challenges and to be willing to achieve goals according to their own best paths. They bring to our institution talents and achievements that advance our excellence, and they make us very reflective of the diverse world around us. So I'm very, very proud of the way in which the University of Iowa supports diversity and supports our university community members with disabilities. We obviously have lots more work we can do, and we'll continue down that pathway. I will give you a few examples, and one of them being the Bell and Blank Center for Gifted Education and Talent Development is working on a 5-year project to develop a national institute for twice exceptionality. And that's the first of its kind in a nation. Now, twice exceptional students are gifted and talented, but they also have a physical disability or learning or social impairments, including autism spectrum disorders, specific learning disabilities, or other conditions like attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Now, the College of Education is gaining welcome recognition for another of its programs called the REACH program. REACH stands for Reaching or Realizing Educational and Career Hopes. This is a 2-year certificate program that offers students with intellectual and learning disabilities a chance to build career skills, to perform better academically, and to live as independent adults, something that perhaps they couldn't do before they were part of this program. REACH students actually live in the residence halls and attend classes on campus that are geared at helping them become empowered and engaged members of their communities. We actually recently received a national accolade for this program from bestcollegesonline.com, which recognized the University of Iowa as one of its incredible colleges for students with special needs. And the UI enrolls one of the largest cohorts of veteran students of any university in the country. We've made the GI Jobs list of military-friendly schools for the 3rd year in a row. We're proud of that. The list honors the top 20% of colleges, universities, and trade schools that are doing the most to embrace America's military service members and veterans as students. Now, 40% of our veteran students report having a disability of some sort. So one of the reasons that we're so attractive to our veterans is the availability of resources for disabled veterans. That includes some of the resources that we have ourselves on campus, but also, obviously, a large VA hospital here in town. Now, those strong supports that we can provide include the wonderful staff and the offices who are the sponsors of today's celebration. The Chief Diversity Office, the Office of Equal Opportunity and Diversity, the Council on Disability Awareness, the Disability Planning and Action Committee, Faculty and Staff Disability Services, and Student Disability Services. And I want to offer my personal thanks and appreciation for everything that you all do to make sure that our very talented students, faculty, and staff can succeed to their full potential. We're pleased about that, and again, we have lots more work we can do, and we know that. So now it's my very special honor to present 2 awards to 2 very, very special people. One of whom I know you've already met today and heard from. I want to present this year's Above and Beyond Award to Brian Manternotte. The Above and Beyond Award is presented to a student or faculty or staff member who is making a difference in ensuring that the University of Iowa campus is welcoming and inclusive for individuals with disabilities. In 2003, Brian was hired as an engineer in facilities management. His primary job responsibilities included door compliance and ADA modifications to meet an immediate need for a mobility or sensory challenged faculty or staff member. In 2009, Brian agreed to serve on the Disability Planning Action Committee as an ad hoc facilities technical advisor for ADA standards and guidelines. Brian's acceptance of a stewardship and leadership role in advancing universally accessible standards led to the development of a project scoping and assessment model which you heard about entitled MAPS. That stands for Measuring Accessibility Points, Plan, and Standards. Today, MAP serves as a primary role in facility management's mission of providing a physical environment that promotes university excellence through campus accessibility. His commitment and demonstrated passion have made him a campus-wide facilities accessibility champion and leader. So please join me in congratulating Brian Mantronaut on earning this year's Above and Beyond Award. Brian?
Thank you, Rick. And I have to share this award with just a few people I want to recognize, and that is Dan Heater, Director of Building and Landscape Services, Dr. Georgina Dodge, and all the members of the DPAC committee who've done just so much in the last 2 years in progressing the university to be more accessible for individuals with disabilities. And also I want to thank my family back here, my wife Carol, my son Blake, and daughter Holly for putting up with me on this as well. So thanks everybody.
One of the great things about being president is you get to do this part of the job. It really is wonderful to be able to honor such deserving individuals, and Brian is clearly deserving. Well, it's now my great pleasure to present to you this year's Braverman Scholarship Award winner. First, we thank the Braverman family for your long support of students with disabilities at the University of Iowa and for your support of this scholarship. Your vision and your generosity assisted many students in their dreams and successes, and you've helped make the University of Iowa a more diverse and humane place. Let's thank the members of the Braverman family who are here. Jody, would you stand and Dick, yeah. Much appreciated. Always great to see you. Well, this year's Braverman Scholarship winner is someone I'm actually quite familiar with. I had the pleasure of getting to know her in another life. She's come back again, and that's a good thing. Teresa Ball. Teresa was the unanimous choice of the Braverman Scholarship Committee. She's enrolled in the Master of Science Clinical Nurse Leaders Program in the College of Nursing. In addition to the leadership role that she's taken in her academic pursuits, Teresa was active in the Student Disability Services Student Group and served as co-chair of that organization in 2009-2010. In addition to this, she received a grant from the Global Health Department that allowed her to study the high prevalence of diabetes in St. Lucia, and she later served as a volunteer teaching assistant in Global Health for fall 2009. As an undergraduate, that's the other life that I mentioned Teresa had. Teresa also served as an executive board member for the UI Alumni Association's Student Ambassador Program. Now, what most impressed the selection committee was Teresa's role in starting the Poncetti Races, an annual fundraiser to raise awareness, advocacy, and assistance to families worldwide in the correction of clubfoot. This is a role that Teresa started as an undergraduate, and she's continued through her pursuit of graduate education. Through Teresa's leadership, the first annual race occurred in October of 2009, included over 400 participants, and raised over $20,000. Oh, it gets better. The race continues now as an annual event, and the most recent of which raised $30,000. So she's just getting better and better at it every year. For this effort, Teresa was named the recipient of the 2011 Braverman Scholarship. Please join me in congratulating Teresa Ball.
Thank you very much. I also want to thank the Braverman family for selecting you for this award, as well as Student Disability Services. It's a great honor. As President Mason mentioned, the university has had a very large impact on my formation as a student. And I would not be the person I was today if it wasn't for the University of Iowa faculty, staff, as well as students. And I also would very much like to thank my parents for being so supportive, for all the needle sticks and insulin injections from a very young age, and for putting up with me for a large part of that. So thank you very much again, and have a wonderful afternoon.
Congratulations once again to Teresa and Brian for everything being recognized today on all of your achievements. I want to thank everyone gathered here today for your tremendous support of these efforts and for your support of excellence at the University of Iowa campus and community. I apologize for having to run. I've got about 50 guests coming to the house shortly, so thank you so much for letting me be part of this.
Great, thank you, President Mason. All right, so going back to the 5-minute celebrations, we will have the Disability Studies Certificate Program, and the presenter for that will be Professor Mary Adamek. Thank you.
Hi, no PowerPoint, no fancy web slides, just me. And I know we're running late, so I'll be fast. My name is Mary Adamek, and I am the director of the music therapy program here on campus. And just this past year, the university, actually College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, developed a certificate in disability studies. It's a brand new certificate. We're just getting it off the ground, and so it's really a pleasure to be here to help share a little bit about it so that you all can go out and talk to other people about it, and students can come to me and talk to me about it. We have developed this designed for students who are interested in helping others, students who are concerned with creating a better world for the rest of us, and for possibly students who either have a disability or students who know of someone with a disability. This is a cross-disciplinary program. The support came from many, many areas of CLAS. The students take core courses in disability characteristics and in disability history, disability and American history. Those are a couple of the core classes that students take. The certificate is a 19 semester hour certificate. So for those of you who are familiar with, it's an undergraduate program, and for those of you who are familiar with the types of programs that are offered across campus, a certificate program is more than a minor and less than a major. And that's how we like to think of it. So a minor usually has about 15 semester hour credits, and the certificate has usually 19 to 21. So this is about 19 semester hours of credit. Students take the core courses that I mentioned, and then they can take an assortment of courses from areas such as aging studies, American Sign Language, American Studies, anthropology, communication sciences and disorders, gender, women's and sexuality studies, geography, health and human physiology, history, music, nursing, psychology, which gives you that broad range of options from which to choose. They also then have a capstone seminar in what's called Foundations in Cultural Competency. So all students are required to take that as well as those core courses that I mentioned. In addition to the coursework, the students are also required to have some sort of experiential or service learning experience. So it's not just in the classroom, they actually are working with people who have different abilities than they have. And we're working very closely with Jo Hendricks at the REACH program, and she will be opening up some opportunities for our students from the Disability Studies Certificate to work with some of her students in the REACH program. So it's a really nice collaborative effort. I'm also working with Bill Therian in the College of Education as a co-advisor on this, and he's helping to spread the word around in education. So if you have some students or you know some people who might be interested in the Disability Study Certificate, it is housed in the School of Music. That's our academic house. I would encourage you to have them contact me. My name is on your program there, and it's just the basic U Iowa email. So thank you very much.
Great, thank you, Professor Adamack. And now for the Council on Disability Awareness Writing Contest winners, Carly Armour and Helen Jameson will be presenting those.
Hello, she was used to use mic, so I'll be using it because I usually have a quieter voice. So my name is Carly Armour, actually Michigan, and I'm profoundly deaf in both ears. And I have a lovely voice that most people don't usually like to hear when I sing. So that's my disability. And Helen?
And I was diagnosed with multiple learning disabilities in 3rd grade. I keep waiting to grow out of them as they promised, but I'm 51 now and it hasn't happened yet, so I think I'll keep hoping.
And Helen and I are co-chairs of the Council on Disability Awareness. And the mission of CDA, to be short, is to promote disability awareness, which is in the name itself. Isn't it exciting how much is happening on campus? Yeah, it really is. I mean, I have these shirts, so if you want to purchase one, talk to me. They're awesome, and we wear them on Fridays. We probably wear them continuously, and there's purposely no date on it, so you can wear it as long as you want. So you can probably notice it around the room. So just talk to me after this, okay? And like I said, isn't it wonderful how there are things happening?
It really is, Carly. One of the many things we offer is the Voices of Disability Writing Contest, which is hosted by the Council on Disability Awareness. Youth and adults were able to submit either prose or poetry pieces that explore and illuminate topics surrounding disabilities. Okay. Back to you, Carly.
So this year, we're presenting the awards in honor of Priscilla McKinney. If you did not know her, she was a phenomenal woman, and she was actually one of the 3 judges from last year. And she passed away last year in December. And so we postponed the contest, the deadline of the contest, so that we could actually put this in honor. She was a writer, she was an advocate, and when she turned, I think it was when she was 22 years old, she lost her eyesight as a result of diabetes and also some other health conditions. And she was just a phenomenal woman, wonderful personality, and I think everybody in the room who knew her was grateful. So it's my honor for the winners in her name.
And now for announcing the winners. When I call your name, if you can please stand up if you're able. Number 1 in unit prose was Maya McGrath.